Welcome back to Going Walkabout. Here we are in the eternal city of Rome, a thriving city since 753 BC. A city that can boast about inventing aqueducts, roads, and water for all. With over 280 fountains and 900 churches, one wonders how anyone can see the city in less than a lifetime. Well, as they say, you can't eat an elephant whole, and much like the elephant, you have to break down Rome to bite-sized chunks to explore. Here is how we made the best of our 5 days in this magical city. You begin by looking at one neighborhood at a time. We started day 1 with the old city of Rome. Walking from our hotel, we passed many monuments, like the Castile St. Angelo. Carrying on across the Tiber River, we are in Old Rome. As many of you know, I love food shopping, and I was enchanted to find Antica Bottega de Sapore, open since 1935. The shelves were full of beautiful oils, vinegars, and treats to complement any gourmet feast. Leave it to the Italians to make food shopping an adventure. Walking through the streets of the old town, you'll see many photo-worthy homes, which will lead to Plaza Navona. The fountains in the center boast some of the hunkiest statues, frolicking in water above some pretty dubious-looking gargoyles. As you walk around this area, you'll want to view some of the more modern-day art, which is graffiti. Seriously? Christopher Walken seems to be everywhere. The old city is so full of antiquities that photo opportunities are literally around every corner. The neighborhoods are quaint, with each boasting a one-upmanship on the best food stores. We ended our walk at where the Tiber splits, housing the ISOLA TIBERINA, an island in the middle with a hospital and some homes dating back to antiquity. Day 2, we walked back to Old Rome to visit some more amazing sites, starting with the Pantheon. The current Pantheon was built by Hadrian in 128 AD. Originally built as a pagan temple, it was converted to a church when Rome came under Christian rule. It holds the record for the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world. It is free to tour the inside, and despite the crowds, it's very much worth the wait in line so that you can see the interior of this magnificent building and the oculus at the center. After the Pantheon, a quick walk up a few Roman roads and you can see the TREVI fountains. The TREVI fountains are the site of Rome's most ancient water sources, dating back to 19 BC. In more modern times, and I'm talking 1730 AD, there was a competition to decorate the water source, and the TREVI statues were put in place. With the Greek god Oceanus at the center, the fountain has provided excellent drinking water for the Romans for over 2,000 years. The fountain is where dreams are made. By tossing a coin in the waters, one can count on returning to Rome. A quick jog up some more Roman roads and you'll find yourself at the Spanish Steps, named thus as they were meant to be in front of the Piazza de España, the Spanish Square. Funded by a French diplomat back in 1723, it is the place to see and be seen for over 298 years. We'll be ending day 2 with some much-needed food. There are foods that are distinct to Rome, 2 that we were able to try. Carcifori agli Guiani, a deep-fried artichoke that looks like a flower and tastes like a dream, and supli, a mixture of rice and tomato covering cheese and then deep-fried. Wow, talk about a taste bud adventure. Then, mamma mia, of course, there's dulce. Needless to say, after all this, we'll get a ride home. Day 3, Vatican City. Just above the Trastevere neighborhood, you'll find Vatican City. Make no mistake, it is a separate city to Italy and Rome with its own laws. You'll need to go through a security checkpoint. The lines are monumental, so taking a tour is highly recommended, as that'll allow you to skip ahead and be able to see so much more in the few hours that you may have within the walls of the Vatican City. Vatican City has 825 full-time residents and over 3,000 that work in the city daily. Considered the smallest country in the world, it houses art collected by the popes through the ages. There are sculptures, tapestries, beautiful floor mosaics, halls that are longer than 2 football fields with art on the ceiling throughout. I loved the paintings. This guy fought so hard he lost his pants. And this guy was ahead of his time with the full Aquaman suit on. My favorite was the paintings where they used Michelangelo as a model because they had run out of other people to paint. This has to be the most popular place in Rome. If you want to see the whole city, plan ahead and get a tour. They do sell out. It's a lot to take in, and spoiler alert, the Sistine Chapel is cool. However, I was blown away by all the other magnificent works of art and the architecture as well. So be prepared to spend a full day in this magnificent country. We needed a can opener and a crowbar to get our ride out to get home that evening. Day 4 brings us to a place that we were really excited to see, the Colosseum. Built in 72 AD to be a lake for Nero, more about that later, the Colosseum housed the gladiator games for over 1,000 years. They believe over 400,000 gladiators died in the fights. The gladiators became celebrities. Many of their likenesses can be found on old Roman coins. They could also buy their freedom with money from their winnings. Upon leaving the life of being a gladiator, they were given a rudis, a wooden sword, commemorating their status as a freed man. One of the most famous gladiators of all time was Spartacus, a slave who was able to lead a rebellion against Rome. Equipped with nothing more than kitchen knives, his group was able to fight the Roman legions for over 2 years. Walking into the Colosseum, you are taken by its size and scale. The architecture is both imposing and appealing. The Colosseum may have lost much of its ancient decor. However, the allure of what's down the gladiator's gate seems as strong today as it must have thousands of years ago. We were surprised to find that the Colosseum was originally intended to be a lake for Nero. When he died, they turned it into the Colosseum. However, due to their extensive excavation and amazing building skills, it was able to be filled with water to host full ship battles. So, they were able to actually play out these mini wars in front of a crowd. As the gladiators became more popular, they turned the lower area into holding pens for any number of wild beasts. These pens are still standing today. Once you finish your viewing of the Colosseum, you are only part done. With your visit, it's time to see the real old Rome of Palatine Hill. You can easily spend a day in the Palatine area. The original area housed the original Senate buildings. It's where Caesar was murdered, and also where the dream that is Rome began. Much of the area has only been recently excavated. They are uncovering new artifacts daily. In this old temple, converted to a church, they found a whole 20 to 30 feet of base structure under the green door. There seems to be endless layers to the past in this ancient city. Day 5. Are you tired yet? I hope not, because we still have the neighborhood of Trastevere. Originally a place for the less elite of Rome, Trastevere is becoming more upmarket. It is best to just walk around this neighborhood and take in the sights. And if you're lucky like we were, maybe get a chance to see a real Roman wedding. At over 2,775 years of age, Rome wears her age beautifully. There is so much to see and do in the city that you'll want to pace yourself. While you can't see everything in 5 days, you can certainly get a good feel for the Roman life. And if you threw a coin in the Trevi fountain, who knows? You might be back. Rome, she is sassy, she's classy, she's iconic. And she wasn't built in a day, so one day won't be enough time to fully take in her beauty. Plan on at least a 5-day trip. If you're enjoying the videos, please like, comment, or better yet, subscribe. Our next stop will be Salerno. Arrivederci.